Welcome to AN24 TV News, reaching you live from our studio. My name is Temitayo Peters. First, the headlines. Atiku Obi rejects tribunal ruling, head to Supreme Court. Again, Lagos Assembly rejects Egube, Odushote, Shakibu, confirms Omotosho, 14 others. Nigeria records trade deficit of 5.7 trillion naira in second quarter 2023. And in sports, Sao Tome, Principe arrive Uyo ahead of clash against Nigeria. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and his Labour Party counterpart, Mr. Peter Obi, have rejected the judgment of the Presidential Election Petition Court, which upheld the victory of the All Progressives Congress APC candidate President Bola Tinubu in the February 25 election. They said they will head to the Supreme Court to challenge the judgment of the tribunal. Atiku, during a press conference held at the PDP National Secretariat in Abuja on Thursday, said the ruling of the tribunal lacks justice. The former vice president said war over the 2023 presidential election is still on, and he has directed his lawyers to appeal the judgment and proceed to the Supreme Court. Peter Obi, during a press conference held in Onitsha on Thursday, said the decision of the Presidential Election Petitions Court is unjust. Obi acknowledged the tribunal's adherence to the statutory time frame and expressed respect for the court's view and findings, but disagreed with the judgment's conclusions. He declared his determination to promptly contest the ruling through the appellate procedure provided by the Federal Republic of Nigeria's Constitution. Meanwhile, APC on Thursday slammed Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi for criticizing the verdict of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, which upheld President Bola Tinubu's election and the electoral process. They also condemned the opposition candidate for attacking the Independent National Electoral Commission over its conduct of the polls. The Lagos State House of Assembly has rejected 3 out of the second batch of the 18 cabinet nominees presented by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for screening and confirmation. The state lawmakers screened and confirmed 15 cabinet nominees, among whom was the former Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Gbenga Omotosho. The House also cleared former Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, and his Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation counterpart, Mrs. Bolaji Dada, among others. The Assembly rejected former Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Sam Egube, and ex-Commissioner for Energy, Engineer Olalere Odushote, who were rejected in the first list presented by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. At least 30 persons have lost their lives in a landslide reportedly triggered by the activities of illegal miners in Kuje Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, while 19 others were also abducted in Biwari. This was disclosed during a meeting between Minister of FCT Nyesom Wike and 6 area council chairmen. Expressing shock over the development, Wike said he would meet with the Director of the Department of State Services in Abuja as well as the Commissioner of Police to receive adequate briefings on the kidnap and facilitate rescue operations. He also pledged to meet with his counterpart in solid minerals, Dele Alake, to tackle illegal mining in the FCT. The Osun State government has ordered the closure of the State Polytechnic situated at Ire campus for 2 weeks to curb the breakdown of law and order in the institution caused by the forceful return of the suspended rector, Dr. Tajuddin Odetayo. The announcement made by Commissioner for Education, Dipo Eluwole, also captured the immediate freezing of all the school bank accounts and urged all the parties to adhere strictly to orders. Odetayo, who was suspended for alleged gross misappropriation of funds and abuse of office, returned to the office following an order of the National Industrial Court Ibadan Division, which reinstalled him as rector. In business, the Foreign Trade Statistics Report has revealed that Nigeria's trade deficit in the second quarter of 2023 has hit 5.7 trillion naira. According to reports published by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS), Nigeria's total trade stood at 12.7 trillion naira, while total exports stood at 7 trillion naira and total import amounted to 5.7 trillion naira. In terms of sectoral contributions, the top three largest shares in second quarter 2023 were manufacturing with 29.64%, information and communication with 21.19%, financial and insurance activities with 11.18%. Meanwhile, Nigeria has raked in 3.48 trillion naira as revenue from value-added tax and company income tax in the first half of 2023. On the foreign scene, Hong Kong authorities said at least 83 people had been taken to the hospital in the past 24 hours due to the wild weather. It was reported that Hong Kong and southern Chinese cities are battling widespread flooding as the region endures some of its heaviest rainfall on record. This has led to the shutdown of schools and workshops and has also triggered landslides blocking some roads. According to Weather Bureau, the downpour, which began on Thursday, is the biggest to hit the city in nearly 140 years. Now in sports, the Falcons and True Pirates of Sao Tome and Principe have arrived in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, ahead of the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match against the Super Eagles of Nigeria on Sunday. The team consisted of 15 players and 5 officials touched down at the Victor Atta International Airport at 12:55 p.m. on Thursday and was received by the Akwa Ibom State Football Normalization Committee. Coach Adriano Eusebio had invited 22 overseas-based players for the encounter as the Central African nation looks for the first victory in Group A after 4 defeats and a draw. Regardless of the result in the dead rubber game against the Super Eagle on Sunday, Eusebio's side will remain rooted to the bottom of the table. The team will have its first training session today at the training pitch of the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium. Finally, in entertainment, in a recent episode of the Tea with Tay podcast, anchored by Temison Emmanuel, the 36-year-old Inyanya admitted his readiness to start a family of his own by getting married. Inyanya said, "Pray for my relationship that God will help me to settle down. Even if it's this year, that's what you people need to be praying for. Like you know, Temison, you are spirit-filled. That's something you need to fast and pray about." Temisa jokingly inferred, "But my spirit is telling me that you don't need to rush marriage. God is working on you. Maybe by 2025, 2026, we will be hearing wedding bells. They know the rush marriage." Consider this. When you have a dream, you've got to grab it and never let go. And that's AN24 TV News as produced by Temi Tokwe Ogubanke. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Thanks for staying with us.